In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this seal here, and we're going to use these exact same colors. And this one, I'm going to make it pretty much this size, and I can make the little baby later, but let's get started. You're going to need something to hold your limbs and eyes and nose, so have something ready, another hook. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make his nose, and you're going to need a single black, and you're going to loop it around 4 times, and you're going to take 3 single whites, get it on your hook, and you're going to pull the single black that was looped around 4 times right onto the 3 single rubber bands, and then loop it right onto your hook. And now we're going to take a single white rubber bands, and that'll be for the inside of his nose here, and we're going to loop it around 3 times, and then we're going to take another single white, and we're going to pull your single that was looped around 3 times onto the rubber band. And then you're going to scooch your nose up, and like the paws and everything for the penguin, you're going to pull one side of the nose off here onto that single rubber band. You're going to push your index finger through to take the rubber band off the hook. And then you're going to take the hook and grab the other side of the rubber band, and you're going to turn your hook and pull that rubber band through, and that will be his nose. And we're going to take our hook, a holding hook, and put that aside. Now let's do the eyes, and we're going to make it exactly the same like this. It'll be blue on the inside and black on the outside, and you can make it whatever color you want. So for my blue, I'm going to take it and loop it around 4 times around my hook. And then I'm going to take a single black, loop it twice on one side of the blue and twice on the other side to create his eyes. And we're going to do again, repeat it for the other eye. Take that single blue, loop it around 4 times, and take a single black and loop it twice on one side and then twice on the other. Now, since this is going to go onto his face and his face is all white, we are going to take a single rubber band, get it on your hook, and then we are going to pull all his eyes very carefully right onto the rubber band, and scooch it down when you get all the eyes on there, and get the other one onto your rubber band. And try to keep it in that order, so that way his eyes are dough-like there. And now we are going to take our holding hook and go ahead and put it on there and set it aside for later. And that's all his extra parts that we have to do. And now we are going to make his face and his body. So with your loom in that staggered configuration, 2 rubber bands at a time, we're going to start from the top of his head, and so from the top peg to the side peg and down 2 times. Repeat on the other side. Top peg to the side peg. I'm doing it sideways, so it's a little uncomfortable for me here, so you can see. Again, down 2 times Always 2 single rubber bands. And then we're going to take from the 3rd peg down to the center and make sure you push it all the way down so it doesn't bunch up and it does not overlap. So once you put it there, push it down. And I hope this background works for this white so you can see. And now we're going to do the center of the face. Again, 2 rubber bands from the top peg to the next one and down to his chin. And always remember to push the rubber bands on the chin down, all the way down, and not to overlap them. And now we are going to continue to the body. Either side, it's up to you. Just 2 pegs diagonally, and we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and we'll do 4 times. For this guy, you can make it the body shorter or longer. This one I did 5, and it seemed a little longish, but if you like it 5, you can do 5. But this time with you, I'm going to do 4. So we're going to put 4 pegs down, and then we'll repeat it on the other side, from the chin peg to the side. And you can do your seal any color. I'm choosing to do white. You can use gray, black, a mixture. And for my little guy here, I had put some gray on his fins or his flippers. And you can choose to do that, or you can make it all the same color. So now we have 4 rubber bands down. And after the last one, we're going to put it, you can do either side, just down to the center peg there. And then from the other side to the center peg. And you want to push that down here also, like the chin peg, because it's going to be, we're going to have a lot of rubber bands that we're going to have to fish out later, hook up. So push it down very carefully, not to overlap them. And then let's do the center of the body from the chin peg down. And if you want to make his tummy thicker, you can add more rubber bands. I just used 2, so we'll go ahead and use 2 here. So we'll do 2 all the way down per peg, peg to peg. All the way down to where his tail's going to start. So once you have it like that, we're going to do the tail, and we're going to take 1 single rubber band. This is the only time we're going to do 1 single rubber band. We're going to put it from the center peg where his tail begins to 1 peg down in the center, from there to there. That's only 1 single rubber band. And now we're going to take 2 rubber bands and put it to the side diagonally, and we're going to do 2 down once, and then I'm going to add a little gray to the tip of his fin there. So we're going to do 1 gray and 1 white, and push it down a little bit. And the same thing we'll do on the other side. We're going to put 2 rubber bands, 2 whites, diagonally from the tail to the side, and 2 whites down, and then 1 gray and 1, put the gray at the bottom, 1 gray and 1 white. And then we can take a gray. If you want, you can use the same color, but I'm going to take a gray and cap off these 2 pegs here 3 times with your rubber band. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we are actually going to do his front flippers here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now for the first, you can choose to do this on the peg if you want, and I'll show you how to do that. But I don't have enough pegs, so we'll do it all on the hook. So you're going to take, first we're going to take a single gray, and that'll be the tip of the flippers. So we'll take a gray, and if you want white, you can do white. So we're going to loop it around 3 times. Then we're going to take a white and a gray. I'm going to get it on the hook and pull the 3 looped gray right onto your hook there. So that's all I have for this guy, and then the rest we're going to do whites. So the next set would be 3 single rubber bands. So you're going to put that 3 on your hook and then pull your two ones there, the one you put on the hook before, right onto itself, so it should look like that. And then you're going to take 4 single rubber bands for near his shoulders to make his arms a little thicker, his flippers a little thicker. So we'll take 4 single rubber bands and then pulling his arms, or pulling those rubber bands through the ones that's already looped on the hook. So there's one of his front flippers, and on the loom you need 4 pegs, and I can show you how to do that if you were confused with the other one, and we'll just push this one down to not to confuse. So on the loom, it's kind of like doing a single. You're going to take 4 single rubber bands, and we're going to put it from there to there. Then we're going to take 3 single rubber bands and put it from the next 2 pegs down. If this is confusing for you, then do it on your hook there. And then now we're going to go down to 2 rubber bands. We're going to take a gray and a white and put it on that same. So for these pegs here, you know, 4 from here to here, 3 from here to here, 2 from here to here. And now the one for his front flipper here, we're going to loop it around 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now we are going to hook it. So we're going to go under the capping rubber band, grabbing the 2 rubber bands, 1 gray and 1 white, holding the capping rubber band and bringing it onto itself, and just go right up your loom and do the last set, which is the 4. I should have done this earlier, but I totally forgot, even though I saw him. And there's your second arm or flipper, and just take that off of your loom, and don't grab your single that was there for his tail. So it should look like that. That was on the loom, and the other one was on the hook, all the same. So now we can add his eyes, and the eyes are going to go on these 2 pegs, the second pegs from the top. So carefully take it off your hook and loop it around those pegs. And separate them once you put it on there like that. so it's dough-like and you can fix it later. And let's put on his nose. It would go from the third peg from the top to the other side. Like that, and that's what your seal's face should look like so far. And now we're going to put some holding rubber bands, and we're going to take a single rubber band and we're going to put it around the eyes, creating the triangle. Around the nose, another single rubber band. And now we're going to do 2 single rubber bands, and we're going to create the triangle here on the chest area. Another 2 single, and we're going to put it right under that, the triangle. And now we are taking a single rubber band. Now these were 2 singles together. Now we're just taking a single rubber band and we're going to double it, and we're going to put on that triangle, the one right below it. And then we're going to take another single, we're going to double it and putting it on this triangle. So we have single triangle here, single triangle there, 2 single triangle there, 2 single triangle there, a single doubled here, a single rubber band doubled here. And now we're going to take 2 last singles and putting it on the tail area here. But we're not going to do a triangle, we're just going to put it right across, like that, from there to there. Okay, now we are ready to loop our little seal here. So, starting from the capping rubber band where his fins are here, if that's called fins. Anyways, we're going to start from his tail. We're going to go under the capping rubber band, hold down the capping rubber band, and loop up, creating teardrops. And you're going to continue up here and getting it on your peg. I'm doing it sideways so it's a little uncomfortable for me. So you can see, get under the capping rubber band, hold it down, and loop it up onto itself, creating teardrops. And these teardrops are important because it catches your rubber bands and hold your animal together. Okay, and now we can do the center single rubber band and looping it onto itself. And we're going to pull the holding rubber band back, grabbing the bottom 2 around the peg and looping it onto itself, onto that center peg where the tail begins. Again, on the other side, same thing. Grab the bottom 2 rubber band and looping it onto itself. And now for the center peg here, we're going to reach in and grab the top 2 rubber band, and it should be the one going up to the center of the body. That's the one we put last. And we're going to loop it onto itself. So you're going to reach in there, find the top 2 rubber bands, carefully pulling everything back, and once you reach it and pull it, you can kind of see it moving and see it created that teardrop. And you're going to loop it right onto itself. And once again, you're going to reach in there, grab the next 2, you can kind of see it moving and looping it onto itself. And we're going to keep going up, reaching the last 2, which should now be on the left, and looping it onto itself. Wherever it's going to go, just take it there. So it should look like that. And let's continue up the side of the body. Go ahead and pull the other rubber bands back. Reach in, grabbing the bottom 2 and looping it onto itself. Keep going, pull the capping rubber band back, or the holding rubber bands back, and looping it onto itself, and continue up your body and stop at the shoulder because we're going to add the arms. Just let's finish the other side. So once you do that, you see the nice teardrops, just go on the other side. And also you can, the teardrops helps you see that you didn't miss any, or you didn't forget to loop any of your rubber bands. So keep going up your body. I hope I'm in frame here, and if I'm going too fast, please go ahead and pause, and if you're confused, please rewind. If I'm going too slow, please fast forward. Okay, so now you're at the shoulder pegs here. You want to take your front flippers here, and you're going to put your hook in through the loops like that. And now we're going to get inside here, grab the shoulder rubber band, pull it out, and then pulling your arms right onto that rubber band and looping it onto that chin peg. You want to push it down a little, but not too much, because you're going to smush the other ones and you won't be able to find it when you're trying to hook it, the chin rubber bands. Okay, we're going to do the other arms, the other flippers. Okay, so now we're going to reach in that shoulder rubber band, grab it, pull it out of that peg, scooch your arm onto that rubber band, and then you're going to loop it onto the chin peg there very carefully, because it's very thick, and hold on to it so it doesn't come out, because it wants to come off here because so many rubber bands. Okay, so now that you've got your arms on, we're going to go ahead and finish the center of the body, and go ahead and start looping up. Make sure you see the teardrops forming, so you can continue up the center of the body. All the way to the chin peg there, and you want to kind of push it down a little, but not too much. You're going to jam the chin rubber bands there. So now you want to, before you go on, you want to make sure you see your teardrops all over your body, and making sure that everything is caught by the teardrops. Now that is done, we are going to go into the chin peg here, and we are going to scooch everything back. We're going to get the top two rubber bands and make sure you grab the top two, and when you pull it you can kind of see the teardrops forming, and the first two should be the ones going above the nose there. And it should be like that, and you can pull your nose out if you want to, like that. And then we're going to reach in again, and if you can't tell, just kind of pull it up so you can see on the side to see. So you're going to grab the next two rubber bands, and it should be the ones, mine is going to the right there. So I'm going to reach in, grab the next two, pull it out, and looping it onto itself. This could be a little tricky because you have so many rubber bands there. Just make sure you grab the right rubber bands. And reach in, grab the last two, bring it around the peg, and looping it onto itself. And now we're going to add some cheeks there, because this little guy here has some poofy cheeks. So let's take a single white, loop it around 4 times around your hook, take one of this cheek rubber bands off the peg there, scooch all 4 rubber bands and looping it right back onto itself. Now let's do the other side. Take a single rubber band, loop it around 4 times, grab the other cheek and scooching your cheek rubber bands onto the one you just pull off the peg, and then looping it right back onto itself there. And once you've done that, we can go ahead and finish the face. Pull everything back, grab the bottom 2 rubber bands and looping it onto itself, again pulling everything back, the eye rubber band and the holding rubber band, and bringing it onto itself, creating teardrops. The other side, pulling everything back, grab the bottom 2, looping it onto itself. Continue this process, creating teardrops. Now you've done that, let's do the center of the face. Go ahead and grab the bottom 2 rubber bands, bring it onto itself. And that's what your seal should look like. And now we are ready to put your hook and through that top peg there, creating the slip knot. Pull your rubber band over and carefully easing it and creating that knot. Now your seal should look like that, and you're ready to take him off the loom. And using your back of your hook very carefully, just with the aid of your hook, go ahead and carefully pull him off your loom. Okay, there he is. Pretty perfect coming out of the loom. I don't have to adjust much. If you have to adjust the eyes, go ahead and do it how you want. Pull out his front flippers a little bit, and you can tuck this charm string here if you want behind here. Just put it right through the back rubber bands and pull it back there. Mine slipped out, but you know how to do that. And you can adjust his neck by pulling him up if you want his head to arch a little more, stretch out his face there. And there he is with his back flippers and everything. And that's his friend. There you go. Hope you like him. Thanks for watching.